Hey guys, Marsningen here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to talk about the father-son Galick gun EZA that goes live on Global sometime within the next, probably be about 8 hours from when this video goes up. So we're going to talk about some team building. We're going to go over the EZA very quickly. So as you probably know, since it did come out on JP a week before for some reason, I don't know why they dropped the transforming Vegeta stuff at the same time but kept this back a week, but who knows. So it's going to be live for us now, and as you probably know, this is the first EZA where we'll be fighting against 2 opponents at the same time. So the first 5 stages, as you can see, you fight Trunks, then the next 5 you fight Vegeta, then you got 5 more Trunks, 5 more Vegeta, and then the last 10 stages, stages 21 to 30, to get all the medals to fully EZA the 2 units. You fight both of them at the same time, so a little bit different from what we're used to. So we've got to think a little bit more differently about our team building. So obviously by completing it, you get the medals for both of them. You don't have to replay any of the stages or anything like that. You get a bunch of orbs for tech and physical as well, which is going to be very good. I think I have the Trunks rainbow, but I need one more copy of the Vegeta, so I've still got a path to fill out for him. And then we get 6 of the Grand Kais of each of the 2 colours. So if you do EZA them and you don't have spare copies for the super attack, it at least allows you to put them straight up to 15 and you'll still have 1 left over, so it's not too bad. Normal EZA rules apply, and the special category is Realm of Gods for this one. So if we have a look at the list here, obviously this is the Realm of Gods list on the wiki. Any of the units on here, really. Mainly you're going to be wanting to look at TURs, but we'll go over some honourable mentions after the big 6. So this is the team that I'm going to be running. So we're going to talk a little bit about these 6 units. So obviously we're going to have Ultra Instinct Goku. He is the Realm of Gods leader. He is a Int type, so of course he's going to have type advantage over the Vegeta, but type disadvantage against the Trunks. So I feel like he's probably going to be an off-rotation unit. I mean, that type disadvantage isn't going to hurt us too badly in the first, like, maybe 20 stages, but once you get towards the 30, and then for those of you who plan to go beyond and see how far you can get, he's probably going to be an off-rotation unit. Although once the stages start to go longer and we start to take more damage, you are more likely to see his transformation, which then of course makes him incredibly likely to dodge all attacks. So he'll be very, very useful once he transforms. And so then we've got the STR Godku, just because he is the ideal link partner for the Ultra Instinct Goku, depending on how we want to build our rotations. And obviously, as a strength type, he does have type advantage over the Trunks. Neutral typing against the Vegeta. Mine is Rainbow, so I mean, he does give himself a pretty decent defensive boost. He's kind of just there for if we want to run Ultra Instinct Goku as a main rotation unit. And so then, continuing the Super Saiyan God theme, we've got Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Now, he's going to be really good because he has type advantage over the Trunks, but then of course his passive is that he has a high chance to guard all attacks. So he can potentially, as long as this goes off, he can block against Vegeta as if he had type advantage as well. So that is very, very useful. This part of his passive is not going to come into play, but you can't stun in the EZAs anyway. So on the higher difficulty levels, when his passive activates, he's going to be a fantastic tank. So he definitely makes the team. And then, speaking of fantastic tanks, we of course have the LR Vegeta Blue. By now, I would imagine most people who are, you know, taking on and completing the EZAs when they first drop are all going to have this unit by now. So, pretty sure you'll know what he does. But yeah, you want to get off as many of those 12 key supers as you can to keep stacking up your defense. And then, even at the higher levels, he's going to be able to tank against both of the enemies for basically nothing against normal attacks. So he's going to be very useful. Obviously he's going to dish out a ton of damage to Trunks and then still be able to put some decent numbers up against Vegeta as well. So he is pretty much a must-have for the team. So then we've got the Int Zamasu. I can't hype this unit up enough. Like, the category Super Battle Road stages, every single category that he's on that there was a stage for, so obviously Realm of Gods and Patara, and I used him on Extreme Int for the old school ones. He's one of the best units on that team because he's such a strong defensive unit. If you start the turn on full HP, he will basically tank everything for next to nothing. He should even tank attacks from the Trunks at the higher stages for very little damage. And then of course he does recover HP with his super attack. This is obviously very useful because in EZAs you can't use items. So if you get off a super with him, and then if you happen to have some dupes in him, get off an additional super attack, you're going to be healing yourself a decent amount as well, which is very, very useful. So, and then of course we can't really have Zamasu on a Realm of Gods team without STR Rose, still one of the top TURs in the game. Obviously perfect rotation partner for the Zamasu. They're both going to have no trouble super attacking. The super class enemies attack and defense thing won't come into play in the higher stages because you can't lower the EZA opponent's attack and defense after, I think it's like stage 15 or maybe 20. So when you get to the harder stages, that's not going to come into effect anyway. But he's just going to be a really strong unit on the rotation with Zamasu. And depending where the attacks are, you can obviously put this guy in front of as many of Trunks' attacks and try and get the Zamasu in front of Vegeta's attacks, and then that's going to be a very strong rotation with a lot of damage, a lot of defense, and the healing from Zamasu as well. So that is the team of 6 units that I'm going to be running. Let me know down below if you can make that exact team and whether you'll be trying that as well. But we'll go over some honourable mentions. So obviously if you have LR, Beerus and Whis, they can make a good addition to the team. They'll obviously tank very well against the Trunks. And then being an LR, they should still tank reasonably well against Vegeta. Maybe not if you start pushing higher than stage 30. But at least for the first 30 stages, they're definitely going to be very, very useful. Same goes for LR, Black and Zamasu. They're not as great defensively on the EZAs once you start getting to the higher stages. But they also have a built-in heal. And if you're running either Rose or Zamasu, you're going to have a perfect link partner for them there as well. So I didn't include any AGL units because Vegeta is tech, but there are a couple of units here that you could consider. Obviously Gogeta, he has a built-in ability to dodge and has type advantage over everyone, so he's very useful offensively, but because I always build my teams thinking about going past stage 30, my experience with him in the Broly EZA is that he did not dodge anywhere near as much as I would have liked. So in the higher stages, if he doesn't dodge Vegeta's attacks, especially a super attack, he's going to take an absolute ton of damage. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta is a decent option as well. Obviously, again, he's going to take a lot of damage from the Vegeta, but he's a pretty good defensive unit overall, gets off those additionals. If you've got crits in him, then obviously, dupes in him so you can get crits. He probably is a little bit more useful, but again, he's not one of my main 6. And then I guess you could maybe use this Godku if you don't have the STR one and you want to run a main rotation. So then we got obviously the free-to-play, the Coat, Goku and Vegeta. I didn't really mention them. They are very, very strong free-to-play units, but they're probably not going to make the cut if you have a decent box of summonable units from the Realm of Gods category. So Int units again are in the same sort of position where they have type advantage over one unit but then type disadvantage over another. So they definitely would have their uses, but you'd have to be very careful about them taking attacks from from Trunks. And then STR, obviously if you want to put in some supports, the God of Destruction Topo is very good. Will at least have type advantage over Trunks. Jiren is a very good unit, but obviously once you get past, I think it's like stage 10 of the EZAs, you can't stun the enemies, which is one of the things that he's most useful for in these kind of events. And he's not going to link super well with everyone else on the team, but again, if you have holes that you need to patch up, he's definitely a solid unit. And then this Goku could be a surprise decent substitute because he gets an extra attack bonus when you fight multiple opponents. So until you take one of them down, he's going to be able to dish out quite a lot of damage. So I might try him out at some point because I will probably stream the EZA. So we'll try him out for a stage or two. And then of course we have the new Vegeta. Now, because the EZA stages never go on for very long, you're probably not going to see many of his transformations, but he still is a very solid unit. If you manage to pull a couple of copies of him, he's going to be very good defensively for the first bunch of turns anyway. So those are all solid picks if you don't have the 6 units that I'm going to run. Or, you know, if you just want to mix it up and try out some other units. Maybe you don't have as many dupes in some of the ones that I picked, but you do in some of the honourable mentions. Because I think, apart from the God Vegeta, my entire team will be Rainbow. So they should be very good both offensively and defensively. So let me know down below in the comments how you are going to build your team. Or if you've done it on JP already, what team did you use? and how high did you manage to get. Also, let me know if any of you guys are going to be joining us in trying to see how far we can go. There's always people on my friends list that go at least to about 150, so this one will definitely be interesting because the 2 opponents is going to add that extra difficulty level. So let me know all your thoughts on it down below. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.